Oh, yes, indeed. Welcome back. We'll flip the page now to talk about issues in Taraba. Well, yes, as you've seen, Mohammed Bello Mustafa joins us today. He is the coordinator of Concerned Citizens of Taraba. Morning, and thank you for coming on today. Well, if you do remember, some time ago we talked about funds allocated to states who were categorized in categories A, B, and C in terms of how they were affected with flood. Well, yes, that flood that caused so much disaster, and the funds came from the federal government. And Taraba happened to fall into category A. And those who fall into category A at the time from what was released at the time, was 500 million naira. Yes, that's what was released to states in category A. But some commissioners in Taraba State were recently sacked for mismanagement of that fund by the acting governor. And that's what we're focusing on here today. But those commissioners have spoken up saying, listen, they were wrongfully sacked and that they used those monies judiciously. You heard about some of these complaints, and what do you think?
Well, first of all, I want to tell you that they were not wrongly sacked because they were given the opportunity to defend themselves. Their right to fair hearing was never trampled upon. They were given the chance, they were invited, to make presentations by the last even administration of the Taraba State House of Assembly before even the present, leadership. They were there, all of them, at the first time they were called. They made their presentations. And when this administration came on board, the new speaker, they just dusted and continue from where his predecessor, must have stopped. So it's not a new thing. I want to tell you that these people they are heartless and shameless, because they should be ashamed of themselves.
Why do you say so?
Yeah, because these are funds that are meant for their people, to cater for the people, for the victims of that flood. Ordinarily, as leaders of the people who have the interests of the people at heart, they are supposed to even dish out from their own pockets and fend for these people. Not even talking about money made available by the federal government, to just get them relieved. Because there are people who have lost their loved ones, they lost their properties, they lost a lot of things. Instead of you to bring succor to their lives, you are now, making them, more miserable. That was why I said they're heartless and shameless. Okay. And all the opportunities were given to them, to make their presentations. Of course, they did made their presentations, but they are not satisfactory. Okay. They were not convincing.
Okay, because we do know that they were under different categories. Yes. But what was reported is 400 million naira. But we do know that states A, those in category A, which Taraba is 500. So does it mean that there's an outstanding of 100 million? Because look at that, those are the names of some of the commissioners that were sacked.
Yes. Well, to the best of my knowledge, I know of 400 million.
Okay.
Yes. And that 400 million was made available to them. And part of this 400 million, I want to believe that 100 million was made for logistics. I didn't know whether the 100 million that was meant for logistics, is part of the 500 or 400. But the issue is, everybody is talking about 400, and it's 400 that we know that were released to the states. So that was what we believed they have mismanaged. Because let me tell you, these people, after making their presentations, the victims themselves were allowed, were invited, they were there.
So was it public hearing or an open hearing?
Yeah, it was an open hearing, not public, but it was allowed, because when they were called in the House of Assembly, it is allowed for people to go and witness it. But who were invited were really the actors, from the committee, and of course the victims. The victims also were there, and we were there. Some of us were there when the victims said, well, as far as they're concerned, some of them, they did not even see anything called relief funds. They didn't see anything. They didn't get to them. And some of them says, well, we've seen it, but it's not commensurate to what we were told we are going to be given. So we decided to even return it. That was why it was even an easy sell for the House to indict them, because the victims were also there. It was not only the actors, the committee members, the relief committee members. So they were there, and they could not defend themselves to the satisfaction of the committee that indicted them. So these people have really mismanaged these funds, and they were accordingly indicted by the House. And let me tell you, authoritatively, the people are even happy with the leadership of the House as it is today.
Why over this?
Because you see, we are the leaders of the people. It has not happened before. This Taraba state is being run by a cabal.
Really?
Yes, that cabal has been in existence for quite some time. It is only God knows when this cabal will be dismantled. But along the line, we believe, we are very hopeful that one day they will be dismantled.
Are these 5 commissioners that were sacked part of the cabal?
Yeah, of course they are. They are. Because, let me tell you, they are the same set of people that have denied whosoever access to our ailing governor. All this while...
So this sacking now, is it not painting a picture of witch hunting?
Not at all. Let me tell you, initially, it is not the House. Please, let the whole world know that. It is not the House that initiated this process.
Who did?
It was the people. The people cried out loud that, see, we are the victims and we are yet to receive anything. And we learned that the actors or the committee is saying that they have, disbursed these funds to us. So the House, as representatives of the people cried to the House. That was what, why the House deemed it necessary to initiate that process. It was not like... And another thing is, if you're talking about witch hunting, maybe it is this present, leadership of the House. But this was started by the previous, leadership of the House.
Okay, so the House just continued.
It is a continuous, process that the present, leadership finished. And the people are saying, thank God we have seen these people for the first time being indicted by the House. Because all this while, they will just siphon the people's treasury, they will siphon the people's funds, and nothing happens.
So wait, when they set up this committee, they gave them all the money straight away. Why didn't they just do it in phases and see how it was going to be disbursed so that this kind of scenario doesn't happen?
You see, the committee, like I told you, is a cabal. So they believe by the time they have the funds, with them, they can just do it as usual, as they are used to. They can do it and get away with it, not knowing that this time around, they can be caught.
Now, it's been in the media reports that the former SSG, Njua, has sued, and indeed the 5 commissioners have sued the acting governor on the grounds of selective purported indictment, that they were never invited to defend themselves, to hear their own side of the story. And it was just a few of them that were picked, not everybody that was involved.
Well, they have every right to go to court. It's a normal thing. In as much as I will agree with you that they have the right to go to court, I will not hesitate to let you know that that cannot stop,